My name is Dan J. Gregory, and I am committed to hunting down the secrets of business mastery and human performance. My goal for the Unstoppable podcast is to share insights from some of the most successful entrepreneurs, inspiring thought leaders, world-class athletes, and prominent celebrities to help you to become unstoppable in business and life. Each week I'll be bringing you a new interview with an inspiring person and sharing my own results as I pursue the answers to the question, how can I create the ultimate edge in my business, make a significant impact, and live an extraordinary life? Welcome to episode 18 of the Unstoppable podcast. I'm really excited about today's episode after having a week's break. Just had 4-day Easter weekend, so there was no episode on Monday. So I'm back here for the Thursday show. It's a solo round on a Thursday, how crazy. But I've got something really special for you today. So it's the usual. I'm going to follow the usual format, starting with my quote for the week, which is as follows. Every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it. Michelangelo. I really like that quote. It's all about finding the hidden gifts within you, finding the value within you. We all start as an open block, and it's what we create with that block that makes the magic happen. So really like that one. So I'm going to jump straight into the session, which is going to be entitled Ending Financial Self-Sabotage and Attracting Abundance. This is a massive topic. So I'm really pumped up, as you can probably tell. I'm going to go at 100 miles an hour. I'm going to try and slow down a little, but I'm excited. I've got a new setup with a microphone, which means I can stand up and get my full energy into the session. But this is a really important topic. And what I've noticed over the creation of this podcast, particularly with the first 10 episodes, where I really delved into some of the challenges that I'd faced on my own entrepreneurial journey. It was really quite a cathartic experience looking back at my fears, my self-doubt, the indecision, the complexity, all these things that trapped me and held me back and stopped me from claiming my greatness, and how I've overcome those things. It's, looking back, it's really helped me realize some of the errors of my ways and how silly some of those things were. But in the time, they're all consuming. And one of the challenges I had was with my own self-esteem, my own self-worth. I don't know where the challenges came from. I'd always been very much focused on being very driven, very successful in my corporate career. As soon as I was out on my own, all the kind of protection was gone. It was crazy. I had no reason to feel that way. I'd produced some amazing results. I'd done some great things with great people. Yet when I was on my own, all of a sudden, I questioned my value as a new startup. I had plenty of experience, plenty of skills, a whole track record of great results and experiences, yet there I was feeling challenged. There I was questioning my self-worth. So today's episode is a particularly exciting one for me because this is something I've battled in the trenches. I know what it's like to undervalue yourself or feel low self-esteem. I can't quite put my finger on where it comes from, nor is it important for me to know where it came from. All I know is that I identified it, fortunately, and overcame it. So tonight's episode, I'm going to share 10 steps to unlocking your abundance mindset. And the first thing that's important to do is to make the distinction between the scarcity mindset and the abundance mindset. So firstly, the scarcity mentality. This is seeing life as only having so much. As though there's only one pie out there. And if someone was to take a big slice of pie, then it would mean less for everyone else. This is the scarcity mindset. It's the zero-sum paradigm of life. People with a scarcity mindset have a very difficult time accepting compliments. They struggle to accept recognition and even struggle to accept money. And they also have a hard time being genuinely happy for the success of others. And they'll often look at other people who are perhaps wealthy and say negative things about them. The abundance mentality, on the other hand, flows out of a deep inner sense of personal worth. It's the paradigm that there is plenty out there and enough for everyone. Take oxygen, for example. We each consume around 550 liters of oxygen a day. And that's not just me, it's not just you. Everyone is consuming 550 liters a day. That's on average, if you're working out hard, and all the athletes out there in the world, they're consuming even more. And with 7.4 billion people on planet Earth, that's over 4 trillion liters of oxygen consumed every single day. So aren't we stocking up and hoarding on oxygen? Well, of course, there's plenty of air for everyone, and we don't need to be concerned at all with competing over oxygen. When I take a breath, I'm in no way diminishing your oxygen or denying you of your oxygen. I can have as much as I want and you can have as much as you want. Clearly, we're all capable of applying this abundance mentality to at least one area of our lives. We all know what it's like to have a seemingly unlimited supply of oxygen, but far few of us can apply the abundance mentality to other areas of our life. Having an abundance mentality is opening our arms so wide that everything, money, health, love, happiness, energy, flows into us without conditions. The problem for most of us is that we often focus on what we don't have. This is a symptom of the scarcity mindset. And what it does is it causes people to focus on what they're lacking, the things that they can't afford, or even worse, a feeling of resentment towards those who already have the things that they want or those who are wealthy. You cannot have a negative opinion of wealthy people and expect to get wealthy yourself. It's important for your perception of wealth to be in line with creating it. And our wealth starts with our own beliefs. This is a lesson I learned the hard way throughout the beginnings of my entrepreneurial journey as I struggled with that self-belief. But it's not just about self-belief, it's also about your belief about money. You know, if you're coming from that scarcity mindset and you think that wealthy people are evil or money is the root of all evil, then you're going to be really challenged when it comes to financial wealth. So what beliefs about money have you developed growing up? What do you associate with money? What do you believe about people who have money? What thoughts do you have around your ability to make money? Do you have any conflicts in your beliefs? How are your money beliefs serving you right now? If you don't believe that you can earn more money, then you certainly won't earn it. Believing that you can accomplish something is the first step to actually doing it. And the reality is that our perception of ourselves and how worthy we think we are has a direct correlation with our net worth. In other words, our net worth can be attributed to our own self-worth. A study of wealthy people showed that many initially felt somewhat unworthy of earning more money. This is a feeling that they had to conquer before their net worth improved. And this is something that I've had to go through myself. Those with higher self-worth actively pursue ways to build wealth. They're more optimistic and they always make more money than those who do not believe that they're worth it. You have to believe that you deserve wealth. If you don't believe that you deserve wealth, it's highly likely that you'll sabotage your own efforts. If you're wanting to attract wealth, but you don't believe it's possible for you or you don't deserve it, it's like driving a car pressing both the accelerator and the brakes at the same time. It just doesn't work. I've got 10 ways to overcome lack and develop an abundance mindset. Are you ready? Number 1, most importantly, firstly, free yourself from the illusion that you are not already wealthy. Right now, you might be in the habit of looking at the dark side of every situation. Perhaps you worry about how little you have, or you feel the heavy burden of too many bills. But in order to turn this perception around, make it a point to see the abundance that already surrounds you. Free yourself from the illusion that you're not already wealthy. Almost 50% of the world lives on less than $2.50 a day. 80% of all humanity lives on less than $10 per day. In contrast, think about all the things that you already have. The chances are, if you're listening to this, you've probably got a roof over your head. You probably have running water. You've got food in the supermarkets that you don't have to go and hunt for. You have a device that you're listening to this podcast on, which is probably worth more than the $2.50 a day that 50% of the planet live upon. So even if you don't have much money right now, live in an attitude of gratitude. This was a major breakthrough for me. I recognize that it's important to first appreciate all of the things that I already have before I can attract even more into my life. And think about it. Even if I was to attract more into my life, if I didn't already appreciate what I had, how likely would I be to appreciate the extra stuff that I bring into my life? So it's really important to appreciate and show gratitude for what you already have. A grateful heart is at the center of an abundant life. And you get what you focus on. If you focus on lack, you'll experience more lack. When you focus on gratitude and abundance, this is what you'll start to experience more and more of in your life. So if you are truly grateful for what you already have, the question becomes, is it right to have the desire to want more? And to answer that, think about this. Is it right to increase your intelligence if you could? Is it right to want to deepen your relationships if you could? Is it right to want to improve your health if you could? If you could have more in any area, then should you? The answer to me is absolutely. So step 2 is to realize that money is nothing but a measure of the value that you create for others. The more value you create, the more you're able to receive on a consistent basis. Most of the wealthiest and most successful people in the world have one thing in common. They've all found a way to contribute value to the world, and they are rewarded well for their efforts. Just think about that for a moment. Look around and begin to ask yourself, how can I add more value? How can I make things faster, easier, quicker? How can I create less hassle for people? How can I create more fun for people? How can I solve people's challenges and problems? The bigger the problems you solve, the more potential for wealth you create, and the more you serve others, the more wealth you will achieve. However, herein lies another problem. If you have a scarcity mindset, then the chances are that you struggle to recognize and accept the value that you create. Is low self-esteem preventing you from charging what you're worth? The value we create begins in our own heads in terms of what we think and feel. Our inner thoughts create our belief systems, which in turn become our reality through our actions. We need to develop an empowering belief about our own worth as a person. As I mentioned, this was something that I fought with intimately. Never allow someone else's opinion of you to shape your view of yourself. Practice giving yourself sincere approval every single day. It's not about external validation. This is about approving of yourself. Only you can give yourself approval. Your worthiness is not determined by someone else, it's determined by you. When it comes to your money beliefs, it's important to understand specifically as an entrepreneur what value you're bringing to the table, especially when connecting with clients and discussing the things like money and invoices and price points. You need to be able to take a powerful stand for the full value and worth of your products and services. Charging what you believe is the proper value for what you do or for what you produce is not an arrogant act. It's not a fanciful desire. It's essential if you want to achieve financial abundance. So if you take self-worth out of the equation and separate who you are from what you do, the value of the service you render or the product you offer is determined by 3 things. Number 1, the marketplace. Number 2, what you choose to charge. And number 3, the eye of the beholder. Perception is reality. The value of the service received has no relationship with your self-worth. Your target market will pay what the marketplace has proved that it will pay. And you can charge at any end of the spectrum, whether it's at the top end of the spectrum or the bottom end of the spectrum. The plane is always full at the front. Step 3, this is really going to be a game changer for you. Give first. The secret to living is giving. It's the motto of one of my great mentors, Anthony Robbins. The secret to living is giving. It signals to your mind that there's always more than enough. Giving is a powerful way to attract what you need, and generosity opens the flow of abundance. I'm not saying you should give away your last pound, dollar, dime, or euro, but giving, even if you're experiencing lack, is sure to put you in a more abundant and appreciative frame of mind. In business, be of service. Shift from what you can get to what you can give. In the new economy, businesses are giving away first. They're giving away great value first before asking for anything in return. Step 4, big one, take personal responsibility. Live by the concept of, I create my life. Only you are in control of your life. Things do not happen by chance, they happen by choice. The results you're experiencing right now are the results that you are committed to. Think about that for a moment. The results you're experiencing right now are the results that you are committed to. Different perspective. When you take full responsibility for your life, you take one giant step towards creating the life that you dream of. Taking responsibility means that when things don't work out, you don't blame or criticize others, and you don't justify things to yourself. You learn from it, and you keep moving forward. And the final point here on taking responsibility is stop comparing. There is no need to impress, please, or do things for others just to validate what you do. It's time to stop comparing. One of the most common causes of low self-esteem is comparing ourselves to others. Why compare yourself with others? No one in the entire world can do a better job of being you than you. We all do it, and we've all done it at some point in our lives. We compare ourselves to others, and we gauge where we are based on what we observe others are doing, or what we believe others are doing. We look at what people are earning financially. We look at the cars they drive. If this was just an observation, it's one thing. But when we compare ourselves to others, we often end up judging ourselves. Rather than comparing, seek only to model what is working and congratulate those who are currently more successful than you, because someone else's abundance has no bearing on your own success. And you know what? When you celebrate the successes of other people in the same way that you would want them to celebrate your successes, then you open a whole new way of living. Step 5, important, decide exactly what you want financially. I'm not talking about financial sufficiency. I'm talking about absolute financial abundance. Think big. Always make sure your goals are bigger than your problems. What you focus on is what you're going to get, so you may as well make your goals bigger than your problems. Focus on massive abundance. So step 1 here is declare your dreams and desires. Write them down, create a vision board, strap them to your walls, take them everywhere you go. Step 2 is to wrap yourself up in your daily desires. Visualize them, see yourself there. I've been talking about this over the previous episodes. Feel it. Feel that vision deep inside your body. The clever part of this is when you activate your thoughts every single day, your mind will shift to support you in achieving your goals. Step 6, commit to abundance. You see, everything we do is to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. So the way that you can commit to abundance is by firstly, step 1, linking pain to the lack. Find the pain. Here's how you do it. Ask yourself, what are you missing out on right now? What will you miss out on? What freedoms are you sacrificing? What are you tolerating because of your current lack of resources? Write down all of the pain. What are you missing out on? What is it costing you? What do you want to do right now that you cannot do because you do not have the resources, because you do not have the financial abundance? Write everything down that having the lack of resources is costing you right now. Feel the pain. Step 2, link pleasure to the alternative. Write down how your life would be greater right now if money was no longer an issue for you. Allow yourself to find direct pleasure in what money will give you. Think about how much more you'll be able to give to those around you. Think about that level of freedom you'll be able to experience. All those desires that you have. Think about how you can effortlessly experience them right now if you were to have all the financial resources necessary to achieve all of your desires. Focus on the pleasure it will bring you and let the pain drive you forward. Let the pleasure pull you and let the pain push you. Step 7, once you've established your why and committed to your abundance, condition your mind for wealth. The way I do this is by creating a sense of absolute certainty that total financial abundance is rightfully mine. I encourage you to do the same. Wealth must feel right for you. This is the number one shift from moving from a mentality of scarcity to a mentality of abundance. So create some new beliefs about abundance that support you. Here are some of mine. Abundance is my natural state of being. I am wealthy right now. I am grateful for all the prosperity that I have in my life. I am open and receptive to all of the abundance of the universe. I happily and gratefully receive great prosperity in increasing quantities in each and every day. Financial wealth flows freely and abundantly into my life. I am worthy of receiving abundance. I deserve the very best. I am accepting of the very best. What are some of the empowering beliefs that you could develop about abundance right now? Number 8, we don't get very far without this step. Take action. Becoming wealthy is not about wishing for wealth until it falls out of the sky and lands on your doorstep. At least it doesn't work that way for most people. The majority of us will have to work for our wealth. But that's not such a bad thing if we choose to work on the things that we truly enjoy. The seeds of your wealth are tucked away in a surprising place. It's in your greatest interests and passions. Of course, simply following your passions isn't enough. You also have to find a way to make your passions pay. So find your zone of genius. Your zone of genius is the set of activities that you are uniquely suited to. They draw upon your special gifts and strengths, and they liberate and express your natural genius. And this is your ultimate path to greater success and life satisfaction. Finding a way to enter your zone of genius and monetize that zone of genius is the key to great abundance. The only way to then get into action is to act in spite of fear. Fear will never completely go away, but it's the ability to feel the fear and do it anyway that separates those who create their dream life and those who simply dream about it. Never be afraid to be different or go your own way, and always pursue what truly makes you happy. Get out of the box. As Jake Juicy says, don't be afraid to look crazy for the things that you love. And just work towards measurable milestones. You have a big vision, but set measurable milestones that you can achieve every single day. Give yourself that opportunity to succeed every day. Number 9, allow yourself to receive. This was a massive revelation for me. I was someone who always brushed off compliments. You look great today, Dan. I'll dismiss it. That was a great presentation. Nah, the slide 10 didn't work out. I missed this bit out. I never accepted the compliments. This is a massive warning sign. This is a massive warning sign of low self-worth and the scarcity mindset. So learn to accept compliments rather than deflecting them. If you're having difficulty receiving from others, even on a simple level like compliments, then this will impede your giving. To earn what you desire, you must feel worthy of receiving in abundance. This requires strong self-worth. You can continue to build your self-worth with more affirmations, more beliefs that support your foundation of self-worth. Here again are some of mine. My self-esteem comes from within myself. My worthiness is a given. I accept myself without complaint and without conditions. I take full responsibility for my life and what it is and what it is not. I blame no one. I live in the present moment. I understand the importance of having harmony between my thoughts, my feelings, my behavior, and my actions. If we don't allow ourselves to receive and only give, we exhaust our supply and ultimately we collapse. Think about the oxygen example. If I was only breathing out, I would really struggle to live my life. We need to breathe in too. It's about giving and receiving. Deepak Chopra says, the universe operates through dynamic exchange. Giving and receiving are different aspects of the flow of energy in the universe. And our willingness to give that which we seek, we keep the abundance of the universe circulating in our lives. It's about giving and receiving. Here's a great practice for improving your receiving skills. Next time someone offers you a compliment, simply accept and say thank you. I said earlier on in a few episodes ago that I wanted my life to be a bit more like Wayne's World. There's a great scene in Wayne's World where one of the guys goes, "I love you, man." And he says, "I love you too," rather than just saying thank you. He just wants to hear thank you. Just accept the compliment, accept the gift. Don't look for something to compliment the other person with, accept the compliment for what it is. Here's an exercise that you can do to find where receiving money becomes uncomfortable. If you sit down in silence and close your eyes and relax, envision yourself possessing large sums of money. Start by picturing yourself having $10,000. Are you comfortable with this? If so, increase the amount of money. Imagine having $50,000. How would that feel? What about $1 million? Does this feel comfortable? You can play this scenario with any amount of money and as often as you want. The key here is to notice when it becomes uncomfortable when you're thinking about the money. This could be your upper limit. Think about how much money you're comfortable being in possession of. This could be a real indicator where you need to make a shift. In doing this exercise, it may help to record any negative feelings and investigate where they may be coming from. Notice where that barrier is, what's causing that barrier, what's causing you to create that resistance. Finally, number 10, get role models and mentors. Find someone who can help you get what you want. You see, wealthy people spend much more time thinking about their finances than people who remain poor. The average adult spends 2 to 3 hours each month studying and thinking about their money, usually when they're paying their bills. However, the average self-made millionaire, by contrast, spends 20 to 30 hours per month thinking, studying, and planning his or her finances. This millionaire mindset, the very act of focusing on your money, will dramatically improve the decisions that you make when it comes to abundance. So find someone who can help you get what you want. Model their mindset, model their beliefs, and the strategies and the results will follow. I feel like I need to take a big breath in. It's been a long episode, and I hope you've got value from it. All of these points have been transformational for me, and I hope that they will be for you too. What remains now is just to update you what's going on Unstoppable HQ. Right now, I'm accepting applications for the Unstoppable Entrepreneur Program. This is a program for visionary entrepreneurs and thought leaders, those who stand for something, those who want to make a dent in the universe, those who want to create a living legacy, those who want to be influential within your field or your industry, and you want to create transformational results for your clients and your business. In the second quarter of 2016, I'm going to work with just 25 people who want to smash it out of the park and radically grow their businesses. If this sounds like you, then head over to danjgregory.com/apply and submit your application form, and we'll have a great 60-minute strategy session where we'll look at where your big goals are, what the challenges are in the way, and we'll map out a plan for you to get to your goals in 2016. danjgregory.com/apply. I would love to have a conversation with you. Finally, this week's challenge, 3 things. Number 1, take a moment for gratitude. Appreciate everything that you already have. Number 2, look for ways to give. And number 3, look for opportunities to increase your wealth. They are everywhere. I hope this episode has served you. I hope you've got great value from tonight's session. I can't wait for the next episode. This podcast is really starting to move now. Thank you to all of you guys who are sharing these episodes. And I hope these 10 points have helped you. They've certainly made a massive difference for me. Thank you to all of those who continue to listen to the Unstoppable Podcast. Remember to come over to the Facebook group at unstoppablepodcast.com/tribe and join the community there for further discussions and tips on a daily basis about how to improve your business. I can't wait for the next episode. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Remember, go out there, unleash your greatness, ignite your movement, and build your empire. You are unstoppable.